right, so in a lot of occasions, I get asked, how do I scalp um, the trade plan? How do I scalp the levels and things like that? So my answer always is to people, you need to leverage the zones and also use the levels that I post in pre-market to be able to come up with a place in which you have a nice risk reward opportunity. So let's take a look at, for example, at the ES. I have entered this trade here in simulation so you all can see basically what it means to trade from levels and zones. And the reasons why I got in simulation is because obviously I want to make sure that I'm focusing on teaching, but the trade should have triggered from 66, not from 58. 58, we're already in, 8 points, and there's a big discrepancy there in terms of targets and risk reward. So let's just take this as an example. If you sold 66, you were to risk 7 points. So your stop would have been 73, which it would probably have been just on top of overnight high, which is a good place to have a stop because in some cases you'll have what is called a look above and fail scenario, and that would have been probably ideal to be able to capitalize on the move. Now here we're targeting 39 is 39 is because unless it's an opening range high, but not only the opening range high, there's also a single print right here, and only volume market profile traders will understand this. That we have, some people will call it a fair value gap or whatever the case may be, but this is a single print, just the way that market profile traders talk about it. This is the very top of the single print right here because this candle came here. So until this candle penetrated a little bit of this single print, it came right below it. So the blue zone is just the single print. All right. So now that we understand that concept, you can also search what a single print is and things like that. Let's talk about the levels. So if you think about the plan that I posted today, it's very simple. So I posted a plan, my daily levels for the ES. The pivot was 6023. So we're gonna put a line at 6023. I'm gonna move this line to 6023. And guess where they open it? 6022. Or 23.5, I'm sorry. That's exactly where they open it. I mean, this is exactly the kind of situation that I like to see. Because obviously it just went below it by 5 points. So if you were to buy pivot, your stop would have been 7 points. If you look at the butt, the robot that I have, it went long at 6025 and it took profits as 6040. All right, so let's duplicate this. I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna paste this line, and then we're gonna take a look and identify T1 6048. I'm gonna move this line to 6048. That's exactly where we are right here, right now. Wow, what a beauty. This is a long opportunity from here. And then the next one is 66. I'm not gonna draw everything. I'm just gonna draw a couple of levels. So 66 is this line here. I'm gonna delete that and I'm gonna put 66 right here. Please note that I'm not using any other indicator. I'm not using anything other than the levels and the pivots that I put in. And we're gonna bring in the zones in a few minutes. All right, so we got pivot in blue, and we got T1 here and T2 over here. All right, so pretty simple. if I tell you the pivot is 6023, you're looking for a long trade triggering from here, from this area. That's what you're looking for. And I don't care if people say that, oh, it's easy to do now that is hindsight. Well, whatever it is, I don't care. This was posted way below or way before pre-market. Those levels were shared at 7:52 a.m. when the ES was trading at 6023. So it was shared right here during this candle when ES was right here. Anyways, non-believers will be non-believers, so I don't care. But anyways, let's go back to this. If I tell you that this is the long opportunity, and you get a notification from the bot to go long because the zone, the only reasons why you got a notification is because when you go back to the ES here and you take a look at the zones, you got three zones right here. This yellow one is 7 o'clock pre-market. The red one is the London zone, which is at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the gray shadow area here is the RTH open. So you can see clearly here what happened. Price, this candle set up the range. This candle broke out of the range. This candle was the long opportunity. And the offset is 1 point. So from here to here is 1 point. And it went back up and took us out break even after it was in profits for 3 points. It got taken out of break even. So this is what you will do in manual trading. You just wait until it breaks. You already know the pivot is as 23. So you don't have anything to worry about. You do have something to worry about. It's not that it's a guarantee, but I'm giving you a plan that's already giving you an indication the price is expected to hold right here. If you're not comfortable, look at what it did. It created the range, it went up, went up, went up. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles closing above pivot. 5 candles before it touched it again. And guess what it did? It touched it again. So your trade will have been very simple. You're looking at taking a long position from here, from pivot, and then you will be targeting exactly what you're thinking, 6048. So let's go back. Now that you know where the zone is, the zone is basically from 24 to 18. This is a 30-minute footprint. So I'm going to draw the zone. 24 to 18. And this was your 9:30 zone. Right here. So from here, your immediate target will have been pivot to T1. That is 24 points. If you haven't made your day with 24 points, then something is wrong with your expectations. Okay, 24 points is more than enough for a day trader. That is, 20 points is $1,000, 4 points is 200, with $1,200, and you'd risk $350 because it's a 7-point risk. Let's just say you say, you know what, I'm gonna set up my stop, a break even, and I'm gonna go for T2 because we have a gap to fill in the XPX or whatever the case may be, or maybe I said something that helped you to stay in the trade. Well, guess what? If you went for T2, that is 42 points. Again, if you haven't made your targets with 42 points, something is seriously wrong with your expectations. Now that we know that, let me delete this. This is just a single print, and that's what I'm targeting with this. I should have been out here at 48. Why? Because we're supposed to go level to level. So level to level, level to level. So now if it breaks below this, there's a new TPO opening now in a few minutes. Look at the NQ is collapsing. It just hit my target here, which was the pre-market high, 600. And now we have a pivot in the NQ, which is this zone right here. This is the NQ pivot right here. I'm just gonna drop it, and it will be this on here. So now there's a possibility that the NQ comes back to pivot. I don't know. It may come, it may not. But anyway, here I'm giving you a target of 39. Ideally, it would have been 37.50 or whatever the case may be. I'm at 39. And here, if I were trading manually, if this was my own account, I would have closed it straight right here. And I will have taken 750 bucks. But I'm going to let it run because I'm trying to explain something here. So this is a level to level scalp. 7 points risk, at least 14 points reward. From here to here, this is 17.5 points. So the 1 to 3 risk reward, or the 2 to 3 risk reward ratio will have been there for a trade like this. Notice that I don't have any other indication here of anything. No indicators, no buy to sell pressure, none of that stuff. All I'm using here is the zones. And if you take a look at this, the way that I explain the zones to everybody, this will have been the same scenario that we saw at the 930. Set up the range, broke below the range. You can see the break here below the range. Went back up and retested to the tick, the 1130 zone. And then from there, you can see what happened. We 48 will have been T1. And if we keep it here, then we go to 39, which is completing the single print that I was talking about. But ideally, you can target as much as or as low as the zone that is here, which is what I teach, from zone to zone, right? So zone to zone. But again, look, it goes back to shows. If you didn't make your targets with $1,000 with a 20-point drop, actually from 66, this would have been 26, 27 points drop. Then something is just not okay with your expectations, in my opinion. So it's really up to you the way that you want to take a look at things. But me personally, this will have been more than enough for me to close out the day, which I'm going to close it right here because there's really no much to talk about in terms of scalping levels and zones. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to close this trade here. Thank you so much, and you'll have a great day.
Order filled.